in Gainesville, Florida, like two muertos de hambres. It's El Cuban Dudes Show with Andy and Abel. From the 305 to the 352, from Miami to Gainesville to Orlando to Tallahassee to Jacksonville and beyond. It's time for El Cuban Dudes Show of Florida. Dale. What is going on, Gainesville? What is going on, Miami? What's going on, Florida? What's going on, all Hispanic Americans of the United States of America? It's El Cuban Dudes Show here on a Thursday, February 15th, 2024 with you. It's going to be a great show today. We've got a special guest, George Francis from FightersRep. We're going to be talking kickboxing. We're going to be talking fighting, gente cayéndose a palo. We're going to be talking all kinds of stuff. I'm here as usual with my boy Abel Cepeda. Abel, say what's up to the peoples.
What's up, people?
What's up, man?
What's on, Andy? How you doing today, bro?
Good, man. It's a good day. It's a good week. Abel, let me go ahead and shut this puppet down here. Tell me a little bit about your week, man.
Dude, as a matter of fact, so it was my wife's birthday. It was pretty jam packed. I was able to go to a nice concert. It was like Latin rock from the 80s and 90s. A new radio station, a new internet radio station called Miraflores, USA.
Miraflores.
Yeah, Miraflores. Donde están los mejores. And nothing. So I saw a lot of people. I met a lot of Latin folks here. And I don't know if have you been able to go to Tinker?
Yeah. Dude, been there once.
Coño, dude, they cook pretty good, and it's a nice vibe and live music and all that. I mean, it was really nice. I had a good time.
Yeah, Tinker people seem like cool people. I mean, when we were doing the Cuban Dudes food truck, never really officially met them per se, but spoken to them via social media and stuff like that. Seemed cool people. We've been there once also to eat. Food was pretty good. Yeah, man, I liked it. I liked
pretty
it.
Legit, dude.
Yeah, you went with your wife out to the event.
I went with my wife to the event. We had tremendo ceviche, bro, that they had there. They had tremendo ceviche that I ate. Me comí. They had like unas cosas that was like unas picadas. You know, like so when you're drinking and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was steak and chicken and chorizo and sausage and just a big old plate. And then you just, you eat while you're dancing and you got a drink and you eat a little more. La pasamos de lo más nice. De verdad que se lo agradezco a Don Casey for the invitation, dude, which is the name of the owner of the radio station.
Don Casey.
Don Casey.
Casey. Round of applause for Don Casey for inviting Abel to the thingamajiggy.
The thingamajiggy.
Yes, sir. I had I mean, I almost don't want to go round two of saying this thing. Not so much of an eventful week, man. I guess when you have 3 kids and a family to be supporting and sustaining, bro, your week is just existing and providing and working and whatever.
Pero if it was only just the girls, dude, pero tú tienes como 40 gallinas, un pato, no sé qué.
Oh, I do remember this now. Just came to me yesterday because it's very fresh in my mind. Yesterday was Valentine's Day.
Oh, true story.
And I actually cooked for the wifey.
Get out.
Yeah, bro. I made shells. What's it called? Pasta shells?
No.
Yeah, stuffed with the cheeses and the sauces and all the stuff and whatever. It was delicious.
That's nice, dude.
Yeah. My wife kind of had indigestion later on, and that's not my fault. I'm not sure if that's because it was just the amount of cheese.
Well,
pero yo no cagué nada ahí. You know what I mean? No, but everybody liked it. Everybody liked the food.
Cool.
It was good stuff. And to let's see to find out, let's do this rough kind of transition here to find out how his week went and what he did for Valentine's Day. Let's go ahead and bring on George Francis of FightersRep. George, what is up?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing, man?
Good, bro. I'm over here having grape juice. How was your not really grape juice, but what'd you do for Valentine's Day?
Man, Valentine's Day, I just was very uneventful, kind of like you said earlier.
Got 2 kids.
Yeah, got 2 kids, just trying to raise these children, and bought the wife some flowers and some chocolate. That was pretty much it, man. It was pretty dead, to be honest.
Let me give you your quick read here because I lost it with my lack of professionalism, so I apologize. Let me tell you guys about George and about FightersRep. FightersRep Promotions, or FightersRep, has been around for over 6+ years and is the premier pro-am kickboxing promotion. Established in California and now bringing that popularity down to Florida, FightersRep will be hosting their first major South Florida event this Saturday, February 17th at the Orion Event Center in Pompano Beach, Florida.
Nice.
Highlighted by a Cubanazo, Fernando Valdez. Find your tickets at FightersRep.com. Now that we got that out of the way, let me ask you a serious question, George. If an MMA guy took your girlfriend or your wife, what the fuck do you do, bro? What can you do about that?
Get another wife, brother. That's what you gotta do.
No shit.
And I didn't mean MMA. I'm sorry. I meant kickboxing. Let's get that correct.
It's all right. I mean, I figure by the 17th, 18th try, you'll get it down pat, brother.
Yeah. George, every single time I say MMA, George loses his shit on me.
So George, so I guess to clear this up, so tell us the difference between both of the sports, because for those that are just hopping on and have never really gotten into your sports and stuff, because I know I did American Kempo down in Miami. I've done Shotokan. Pero, your multi-kickboxing is different than MMA. I know that you guys practice on being, kicking trees and doing stuff. I mean, like, what do you guys do to prepare? No, I don't know, dude. I've seen them in the videos.
80s much, Abel? 80s much?
Yeah, that was like blood sport and shit.
We dipped the hand wraps in. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you, yeah, man.
Oh, okay. Oh, you guys disappeared, so I felt lonely. I thought I lost you for a second. I was like, what happened?
You got this. You're the star, brother. Go ahead.
Okay. So, I was gonna joke and say that, we dip our hands in caramel and then gummy bears and all kinds of treats, like in Hot Shots Part 2. But what we really do is, I only do kickboxing. That's the only sport I promote. That's the sport I like the best. That's why I promote it. And the difference between kickboxing and MMA is, MMA, they have grappling. They have submissions. You could take the person down. You can, break their arm or, whatever it is you want to do. And they wear 4-ounce gloves, and it's usually in a cage. The kickboxing we do at FightersRep it's in a traditional ring. Okay. It's, traditional gloves, 10 ounces or 12 ounces or 8 ounces, depending on weight division and what state you're at. And you stand and fight. At FightersRep, there's no clinch. Like if you do clinch, it has to be active, and it's only 3 to 5 seconds, and then the referee's going to break you up. If you hold, just like in boxing, they're going to break you up. So it's exciting because there's no going to the ground. Guys and girls, they stand up and fight. And if you're tired, if you're hurt, there's kind of no way out. You can try to clinch a little bit, but the referee's going to break you up. You're going to have to stand and fight. So that's why we typically float at about like a 50% knockout ratio. Like there's a lot of action in our cars, and a lot of people get knocked out. So that's pretty much it.
That's exciting.
George, I think you probably switched over to the kickboxing once we first, because I started working with George at first when he first was working on this together in South Florida.
Oh no shit!
And we started to witness a lot of events where there was like a lot of grappling and a lot of boring ass crap, and we were like, everything has its place, right? It's a martial art, right? And you got to respect it. But I remember there was an event. You remember that event, dude, where those two dudes flipped over the side rope at the boxing rink?
I think that was Alistair Overeem's brother, man.
Yeah, I know. That was the craziest part. I almost was like embarrassed in a weird way. I was like, I can't believe this dude.
I was sitting in the in the bathroom. I just have weird thoughts that come to me in the bathroom sometimes. And I was thinking about that event because you told me we were going to be on this podcast, right? I was thinking about that event and I just started laughing. Do you remember what happened at that event? What was said? Do you remember that guy that was about to get knocked out and what that Cuban guy screamed from the audience? You don't remember that?
Wait. No, I'm going like this because it's like I could never forget that.
Bro, I
get comer malanga.
Bro, I still laugh to this day about that, bro.
It's a Guajiro, bro, said that. Hay que comer malanga para que no te pase eso.
What was the highlight of that event? When me and George walked away, we were eating at, I think, like at a pizza place, like me, you, and another buddy of ours. And the highlight of this entire event where these dudes were knocking each other the fuck out and all kinds of crazy crap was happening was hay que comer malanga. That was like the highlight of the whole thing.
That's funny as shit, bro.
And we need to give you need to give him proper context, Abel. Let me kind of tell you what happened. So you can you had to be there, but let me give you proper context, right? So we're in the audience and these guys are teeing off on each other, and one of them is getting beat up pretty bad, and I had heard that, I think I had heard that he had fought like a week or two before and he had lost there. So this guy's on the ropes. This guy's getting teed off on. I mean, he's watching his career fall apart, in front of his eyes while this guy's teeing off on him.
Right.
And, he's got like shaky legs, the deer legs. And some guy screams from the audience, "Ay que comer malanga." And me and Andy just looked at each other. We laughed. I think we laughed for like an hour straight, man.
That's funny as shit, though.
It was so messed up and funny at the same time.
It was fucking
Ay que
hilarious.
comer malanga.
It definitely was the highlight of that thing. But yeah, dude, it's crazy how much it's evolved since you started this whole thing, man.
Yeah.
I remember when you were doing this, I thought you were kind of like not jugando la muñequita, because I know you're like serious about the shit that you're doing, but I never expected it to be like. I remember one day I log into like Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or some shit, and I see like the high level promotion of what you're putting out there. Like all of a sudden, it was one day like 4 years ago or something, and I'm like, literally caught me off guard. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this is George's fighters. Wait a minute, what? Like, and I remember I even wanted to reach out to you then and be like, yo, wait a minute, dude. I thought, you were just like a one-man thing. Like, you obviously must have like a studio of people, some ESPN level kind of thing, because this is ridiculous the way it looked. But no, I know it's just you and a few cats and stuff, but it's amazing the level of rise, man. The hard work you put into it.
No, thank you so much, man. Yeah, I mean, we started, you helped me with the website, and I was just like doing, the journalism thing. I was kind of like what you guys are doing now, just like interviewing people and talking about the sport. And then people started hiring me on to be a ring announcer. And from there, I saw a couple shows and I was like, I think I could do a better job doing this than these guys, because I just felt like a lot of people were half-assing. It says "Ay que comer malanga" down there.
Yeah.
I felt like a lot of people were half-assing it, and nobody's really doing kickboxing, I think, at a high level. And I just feel like it's the most exciting of the combat sports, because you go to watch an MMA fight, and you hope that the guys stand and fight, and that's basically kickboxing. I mean, I'm just giving people what they really want, which is two guys standing up and fighting, or girls standing up and fighting, and not going to the ground. And
George, what about a promotion? What about a promotion where you got fucking dudes wearing ninja outfits and they're just like throwing ninja stars at each other and shit? I mean, that'd be sick, dude. I mean, that's what I want to see when I watch like MMA. Back in the days when like the UFC was like, Hoist Gracie versus like, what was the name of that dude that nearly killed him that had the cross tattoo on his back? You remember that guy, George?
I don't
remember. Not to put you on the spot, but yeah, back when it was like, back when there was like Action pay-per-view. Do you remember Action pay-per-view?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, back when there was Action pay-per-view, George, and this thing was like UFC number 1 or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
What I thought there was going to be is like a dude that was going to come out with like size and shit, and fighting a dude with like a sword. I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. And then it was like a dude grappling another guy for like 45 minutes, choking him out like an anaconda. I'm like, I was like falling asleep.
Oh yeah, George, I got a quick question for you.
Well, they have sanctioned bare knuckles, so I think the next step is probably throwing Chinese stars at each other.
That would make it more.
Or you could just, if you want to see, a death and destruction, just go to a Super Bowl parade.
Oh God! Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. But yes, I agree. It is unfortunate, but everything has. Well, we'll go. Me la pusiste en China, bro. Me la pusiste en China.
Bueno, George, I got a quick question. ¿Quién se descojona más, the guys or the girls, dude? Who fights?
Oh, good question. Or how about the girls that were guys that now are girls? Which I know, George, you and I were part of an event. You and I were part of that same event with Overeem's brother, where one of the loudest knockouts we ever heard in our life came from a woman. Do you remember that?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to touch that with your. I'm not going to touch that with your 5-inch pole, much less a regular 5-inch pole. Yeah. But I do think that the women tend to, if I were to say in general, fight a little bit harder than the guys. I don't know. I just feel like women are, just because they're like typically not as strong or fast or whatever it is. I just think maybe they're like aggressive, man. Maybe they overcompensate with aggression or something. I don't know what it is, but I feel like every time I watch women fight, especially at our cards, man, they're trying to hurt each other bad. Now there are guys like that as well, right? And this will change from individual to individual. But if you're asking me in general,
Yes,
I do
sir.
think the women, like, they really go out there and they fight hard. You know,
Can it be
every
because
time.
can it be because you don't expect it to be that hardcore that when you witness it, it's almost like shocking? Like you expect two dudes to
Yeah.
annihilate each other. You know, you almost go in like not knowing, especially when like you've never seen a woman's MMA or kickboxing event.
No.
You're like, oh, this is gonna be some bullshit. But then all of a sudden, this chick knocks this other chick, and it sounds like a damn explosion has gone off in the ring. You're like, what the fuck?
Oh,
And
yeah.
that, literally, that's what happened to me. I mean, besides this one particular, right, which I mentioned up front, but you know, even the other women who fought, like the women who fought at this event, were like gnarly, dude. Like, I mean, those chicks
Yeah.
would kick your ass, like,
Oh, yeah.
legit.
Oh,
Like,
for
they fuck
sure.
you
Yeah,
up.
yeah. No, it could be. It could be. I mean, it could be that. But I just, from my perspective, I just feel like the women tend to fight harder. Maybe, you know,
Then
because
they
they're
got just
less.
more to prove. Maybe they got more to
Yeah,
prove.
maybe they're, because there are definitely less women fighting than men, right? So maybe like they just want to, you know, they want to show out. They want to be like, you know, I belong here. I want to show I'm just as entertaining as the guys. So I'm going to go out there and tear this woman up in front of me. You know what I mean? It's kind of that thing, you know, because obviously, I mean, we have the card on Saturday. You've got 11 male fights and 1 female fight, you know, so you're definitely not going to find as many female fighters to work with as males. There's just a lot more male fighters registered, in my opinion. But, you know, I think that's why you have them come out there and really put on a show.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean,
That was good.
those chicks really do get after it. George, I want to go ahead and load up here some examples of your stuff. Bear with me
That
for
would be cool.
for 1 second. Yeah, I think this is going to be great.
I like that you did that. I like that.
Yeah,
Of
bro.
course, man. Just got to get my little source here going. Okay, so I'm going to show some knockouts, some examples of some knockouts. I got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 of them. And we'll kind of like, maybe you could like walk us through them a little bit and
Sure,
tell us
sure.
just what's the deal.
And Abel, I like that you did Shotokan, man. We have a Shotokan practitioner that's fighting for us on March 2nd. He's fought for us a bunch of times, and after fighting with us, he got the call from Karate Combat and fought for them.
Nice.
So it's Michael Claycomb. So I just want to shout him out. Michael Claycomb, Joseph Claycomb Karate.
Yeah, man. I used to do it in Miami Shotokan down there, man. Get on my sensei.
Yeah,
was-
you know,
was saying-
kickboxing is just like kind of comes from karate. It's like a mix of boxing and karate and Muay Thai and everything else. So
I've done croqueta con. Just eat croquetas till I pass the fuck out. Glass.
I wanted to do that, but I wanted to do that, but my favorite Gainesville food truck decided to stop selling croquetas.
Oh, bro, I know, man.
This guy was out in California hanging out with all the hippity dippities rather than being over here.
Oh, to mail me some, man.
Yeah, dude. I
Frozen.
wish there was a way. Actually, I looked into that when George and I spoke once about it, and I was like, yo, maybe there's a way for me to ship them cross country, but nah.
Dry ice the shit out of those, bro.
Yeah. So a lot of these videos are they're kind of portrait mode, but we'll see. They should work either way.
Yeah, it's fine.
I have an example here of Connor Bracken. Let me go ahead and
that
share my
guy.
screen.
That's a tough customer right there.
We got Connor Bracken knocking the shit out of somebody.
Yeah, it's a good one. So this was an interesting fight. You know, the guy he's fighting there is Ed Hyman, who had fought Connor Bracken's teammate, Matt the Butcher Baker, in Glory. I'm sure you guys have heard of Glory. It was, you know, at one point the premier kickboxing promotion, probably still one of the best. You know, so Connor fought him. A lot of people were like, he's not ready, you know, like he's a good fighter, but you know, Ed Hyman has like so much more experience, and you know, he's going to get knocked out. And I was like, well, Connor's fought for us 4 times in the last year. I think he's ready, you know, because for me, activity means a lot. If you've been active, you're a dangerous fighter. And so I remember I had people text me like, he's not ready, this and that. And then he goes out there and finishes at a guy I respect very much in 20 seconds. Yeah. So he's a beast, man. Connor Bracken is, I would put Connor Bracken against any human being at 185 pounds in a stand-up fight. Any human being at 185.
I'll be honest with you, with a name like Hyman, he doesn't sound very tough.
Oh my goodness.
Just fucking around. Well, welcome to the Cuban Dudes Show.
Oh yeah, Mr. Hyman. If you happen to be watching, I didn't
just
say that
kidding.
shit. That was
Yeah.
Abel Cepeda. What's your address? I'm giving last name, social security, and everything.
Oye,
Oh,
chilatón,
my God.
I'm walking around with the Hyman, bro. Let's move on to the next one here. We
Yeah,
got
yeah. The next one.
Daniel
So,
Gaston.
so this is I forgot his first
Bravo.
name. Gaston is his last. I think his last name is Gaston. He's a beast as well, and he's fighting a guy that's a beast here as well. These were both kids on the USA Muay Thai team, and they ended up fighting each other at our card. And as you can see, it was just absolute brutality.
Coge lo tuyo, papo. Coge lo tuyo.
Toma.
Toma, serie.
Oof.
Boom. The finger nation. Mira para eso.
That guy's out, dude. Mira para
Yeah.
allá. He's halfway off the ring, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
it was. He's a tough customer. I mean, they both are. He just happened to get the best of it in that one.
That's what Hyman's gonna do to you.
Nathaniel Gaston. There you go, Nathaniel Gaston. Nate.
Here we go. One of
Hey,
the,
this was at the last card, or maybe the one before. Milshawn Lathan taking on Claycomb. That's Claycomb, the one I told you does show.
yeah.
He lost this fight,
Oh.
but he's won in spectacular fashion in other fights. I mean, I guess sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. This time he was the nail. Milshawn came out and just like blasted him with the right hand. Over again.
So these guys they also have like heavyweights, lightweights, super
Oh,
featherweights.
of course, yeah. Everything is
These
by
guys
weight
look
class.
different. Yeah, these guys look a little different than the last one you put on.
Yeah. So Milshawn now after that fight, he became our light middleweight champion, which is 159 pounds.
Nice. And we're moving on here to D'Lo. Who's D'Lo, bro? That sounds like some like
Man, he's
rapper.
that's D'Angelo Gianni out of Los Angeles Muay Thai, if that's who you're talking about.
That sounds like an Italian last name.
Yeah, and he just absolutely blasted this kid.
shit.
Yeah.
Rewind that again. I missed it, dude.
Bro,
Está comiendo mierda here with the
comiendo
panel.
mierda with your little buttons, bro. Mira, watch.
And the crazy part is, if you watch this live or you watch the live version, his coach calls out that combination before it lands.
That combo.
No way.
Yeah, shout out to David Huerta, man, out of Los Angeles Muay Thai. One of the represented the United States in the Olympics for Muay Thai, and big shout out to him, man.
Awesome,
bro. Next we got who's this? We got I did watch this one. Este chino de pinga, este otro chino, bro. Bad.
Vamos a ver.
Watch. Here we go.
That's Noah Ko, very tough guy. He fought Irvin Nguyen, and
They're cracking the fuck up. 1 second. Let's be politically correct. Where are these dudes from?
anyway. These are all California, California boys.
In California.
Noah is, I think he's of Korean descent, and Irvin, I think, is maybe of Vietnamese descent.
Yeah.
Real tough kids, real martial artist is Irvin Nguyen for sure. I mean, he does crazy like spinning back kicks and stuff like that. He actually landed one in this fight, and got a vicious knockout even with headgear. So
Isn't it?
That was another thing that I noticed. Some had headgear and some didn't.
Yeah, George, I'm sure could talk a whole episode. about
Yeah. So in California,
stuff.
in California, they make you wear it until you're in your fourth fight. So before your fourth fight, you have to wear it. In Florida, they don't care if you wear it or not. So I prefer without it, but they do want you to wear shin guards. As you can see, they're wearing like thicker socks. Those are, I guess, considered shin guards. And that's what they want in Florida. The thing I don't like about the headgear, though, is they've actually shown, they did like a whole study about it.
Okay.
And I actually like went up to the president of the California State Athletic Commission. We had a whole meeting about this because they were trying to move it to 5 fights instead of 3 with headgear. I told him, dude, you can't do that. Nobody wants to watch headgear fights, and these things are horrible for these fighters' health. Like, they literally did a study that banned headgear from men's boxing in the Olympics. I don't know if you guys noticed. They don't even use it in the Olympics anymore.
Oh, no, I hadn't noticed.
No, that's
yeah, and it's because they did a study, and more people are getting knocked out and concussions and everything else with the headgear than without it.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gnarly. Well, let's go ahead and watch this video here.
Yeah.
So gnarly as well, California.
So it's dudes.
Yeah, so as you can see, he's like very kick heavy. I want to say he's got a Taekwondo background.
Dude, I was
La
going
meta patada, bro.
to do the spinning sidekick during
Ahí va tu hígado, bro.
back kick,
And then bam,
De pingacho, bro.
Oh, and they're quick, dude.
big right hand. I mean, these guys were fighting like at 120, 127. So these smaller guys are very fast.
Oh, this dude has a tie thing on his shorts, and let me tie. I want to watch this again though.
I in his shorts.
Thailand.
Oh,
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of them are. So a lot of these guys come from Muay Thai gyms, so they'll wear Muay
Oh,
Thai.
okay,
shorts,
gotcha.
You know,
guys.
Right there, that kick is brutal, bro.
Eso sí te saca la mierda.
Te cagas el hígado. No, nasty.
yeah, yes. So like I told you guys, I mean, we float at about a 50% knockout ratio. So people definitely get their money and entertainment's worth at these shows.
Love it.
Bueno, this is super exciting.
Espérate, bro. Espérate.
Oh man, this
Oh!
one's brutal.
Espérate,
This one
espérate.
was
You
brutal.
missed that.
Yeah,
Let
dude.
me replay the shit.
Págate. Oh.
Pingue.
Yeah, man,
De
I'm telling
pingue. One more time.
you, that's
De
and that's
pingue.
Lights
and that's
out.
Darren Hollywood Smith there knocking out David Pacheco, two very tough guys.
They look
And
tough.
Darren Smith, after he became our champion in this fight, our middleweight champ, and then he went on and fought at Karate Combat in the main event recently, the one where Rick Ross was the host, I guess. They did it at the owner of Karate Combat's mom's house. I guess that's what the theme was. We're doing it at my mom's house at Rick Ross is hosting. Well, anyway, Darren ended up going out there and losing, but he's definitely a tough guy and a guy who can knock anyone out with one punch, as you could see there.
I like that.
That was
Come to
a
my mom's
solid-
house.
that
Come to
was-
my mom's house. You might get knocked the fuck out, but we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun.
Yo.
Yeah.
Is there any other? No, I think that's about it. But I do want to also highlight one of the main event dudes from George's kickboxing promotion in I forgot the name of it, George. What's the name of the center again?
Right.
The Arion Event Center. It's going
Ariana
on.
Event
It's
Center
going down
in
Saturday.
Pompano Beach, Saturday. FightersRep.com. Buy your tickets. Here we got.
George, how close is that to the casino down there?
Oh, it's really so there's a couple. I mean, if you're talking about the Hard Rock, the one in Hollywood, it's, I would say it's, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes away. And then there's another, like a smaller Seminole Coconut Creek Casino or something like that. That's like right nearby too. That's probably like 10 minutes away from there. So
Coño, George, I did you a disservice. Espérate un momentico, coño. Spell check. De madre. Fighters Rep. Mira más.
Oye, cambiar.
The grape juice has really been affecting me this
yeah, man, you need to take it easy on those grapes, big dog.
Go.
Aguanta.
Aguanta, juguito, papito. This is Fernando Golden Boy Valdez.
The guys are fighting.
This is a Cuban guy, bro.
Yeah, and he's out of Florida Kickboxing Academy, which is one of the premier gyms in the nation. The head coach and owner there is Asa Tenpao, who's one of the best kickboxers in the world. And it's nice to be training with one of the best. So you could see it. You could see it. Fernando's technique. I mean, he's got some smooth, beautiful technique and beautiful kicks, and he's the main event. And I look forward to watching him fight.
He's like, no hay banana para los frijoles colorados, coge. Toma lo tuyo. ¿Dónde está el chícharo, mami? No hay chícharo hoy. Mami, mira.
Hay que comer malanga.
Hay que comer malanga, coño. Boom.
But yeah, no, I'm excited to watch him. He's actually fighting a kid out of Las Vegas. We're flying him in from Las Vegas. His name is Reggie Abrasaldo, and
The guy's Hispanic too, no?
He's fighting out of Johnny Parsons' gym out there, Syndicate MMA and Paradox Fight Club. And Johnny Parsons actually fights in the UFC right now. Great fighter, great coach. So, I mean, we're, just when you're in Florida, when you're in California, you just happen to be surrounded by, some of the best talent in the world. I mean, it's not even like because it's me, it's just happens to be the best talent in Florida and California. You got some good talent in New York and stuff like that too. These are kind of like the hotbeds for martial arts,
So how do you pick these guys out? Do you actually handpick them for your events, or is there a process for them to be able to be in your event?
Yeah. So we have a registration system. People want to fight, they just register, and then we have a matchmaker in Florida, Xavier Santana. Shout out to Xavier.
All right.
And then we have Hung Nivo. He's our matchmaker out there in California. And they'll just reach out to you if they think they've got a fight for you, and you either say yes or no, and then we make it happen.
Nice. And so for the people that are watching, do you have like a website? How much are the tickets?
Yeah. So FightersRep.com. That's our website. You can follow us all over any social media app on the planet, especially Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at FightersRep. I keep it simple. And you go to buy tickets at FightersRep.com. You could also join the YouTube channel. That's our equivalent of a pay-per-view. You pay $9.99 a month because YouTube is subscription-based. They don't let you do a real pay-per-view. But, you could buy and cancel anytime. So you could, if you just want to watch one event, it's $9.99, and then you cancel. And then you can get your tickets at FightersRep.com. It's only $40 for general admission to our first Florida show.
Great price, man.
Yeah, that's a great
which
price.
I think is fantastic for 12 fights and food. We're gonna have great food there and a bar and a DJ and everything else.
That's
And
what's
it's
up.
just a night of entertainment. It's a fun night. You can take your friends out, and it's gonna last 5 or 6 hours. You get to watch some great fights and drink grape juice. And have a
Coño,
lot of
Andy, embúllate, bro.
Oh yeah, George invited me to go this Saturday, but I was like, dude,
Brother,
last
olvídate de
minute,
eso, monda.
I ain't got-
Vamos,
I ain't
let's
got-
go, doggy.
I ain't got anybody to take care of my chickens or none of this stuff, bro. So like, I have to go my mamela right now. Do you know? I know this might be putting you on.
That's what they call the side pieces now, chickens.
Ah, te jodieron.
Listen, I know this might be putting you on the spot, but do you have any idea into the near future when there might be another Florida event?
Well, so we've got Florida on Saturday, and then I've got Los Angeles in 2 weeks on March 2nd. Those tickets are a bit more expensive. It's at the Commerce Casino. And then we have, I want to turn around every 3 months. So the next LA show I know is on June 8th. So I'm hoping to do the Florida one before then. I kind of want to test the waters with this show and see what I think is the necessary time span I need to promote this thing,
Okay, so what we'll do is hopefully from here to then, our Cuban Dudes Show will be a lot bigger than it is today, and we'll go down there and we'll do some batayu over there at the kickboxing thing. Ahí interviewing todos los tipos ahí metiendo patá and shit, and we'll just corner all the Hispanics that are fighting on that card, and we'll talk shit.
Should be
Well,
fun.
you guys will have a lot of fun, and I see you guys already got a sponsor, man. Great job. You guys are doing a beautiful job. I love the logo.
Thank you,
And I
George.
love the vibe of the show, man. I gotta be
Thank
honest
you,
with
my
you.
Oh yeah, we got the little sponsor spot we're gonna run right now. You're gonna stick with us afterwards to talk some other random shit here that we got to talk about.
Ya tú sabes, bro. I'm here for life.
Yeah, 305.
We'll be right back. We're running our Enable Properties spot. Enable Properties is a boutique-style real estate and property management company located right here in Gainesville, Florida. With over 2 decades of experience in both the Miami and now Gainesville markets, Enable Properties and owner Amy Cepeda have seen it all. There is nothing Amy and her team can't help you manage, buy, and or sell immediately. Enable Properties has earned a multitude of awards, including those for excellence in customer service and overall customer satisfaction. Amy has a deep passion for the Florida housing market, and that passion will get you to where you need to be. Whether it's investing in new property to expand your portfolio, or whether it's selling your current house and to cash in on that sweet, sweet equity, or maybe it's taking that equity to buy your dream home, Amy and Enable Properties have you covered. Maximize your time and maximize your profits today with Enable Properties. Amy and her team are waiting for your call today at 352-225-1163 or check out their website at enablepropertiesgnv.com. That's Amy and team at 352-225-1163 or on the web at enablepropertiesgnv.com. Enable Properties, your Gainesville real estate experts. All right. So we're back with the boy George from FightersRep.com.
Nicely done, man. Nicely done.
Animal. Oye, bro, did you watch the game? Did you watch the NFLs?
I did, bro. I did. I was down in Kendall, your old stomping grounds. They were all asking me, "Oh, what happened to Andy Pineda? Do you know what happened to that guy?" I said, "Don't ask me. He's married now. He's got kids. I'm not going to tell you." They wanted all these details. I told them I can't give you all that. But
he's famous. He has a food truck. He's serving croquetas to people. Yeah.
But yeah, I watched it. I watched it down there, with the family, and I was just happy to see San Francisco lose, if I'm being honest with you. Anytime that city takes an L, bro, I'm just
This
whatever,
guy
you know.
George would tell me some stories about San Francisco, dude, that would like blow my mind. Would blow my mind.
I mean, I love the people, but I don't like that city, bro. I don't like any of those cities out there,
Yo,
bro. They're
bro, so is it
crazy,
true que están todos los vagrants allá afuera meándose y cagándose everywhere?
bro.
Is it real or is that just a bunch of bullshit?
It's real, bro.
No
It
shit,
is
like Skid
real.
Row and all
Tell us,
that
George,
shit.
you got the spotlight. Tell us a little bit about the kind of shit you would see in
Literally.
LA and stuff. Everybody
No,
has seen it. Come
I
on,
don't
it's not
listen.
like
I don't want to. I don't want to.
Pictures,
I don't
George.
want to trash. I don't want to trash it too bad. You know, I'm trying to be mature about it. You know,
Okay. God,
but
man, we gave you the chance, man, to like. let
but
us
you
know.
know, I just didn't want to raise my kids around that. But everybody's in. You know, some people maybe they like to pay a premium to live in en una mierda. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it no more. I was paying way too much. My house was way too small. There was too many. It was sad. There was so many homeless people all over the place. My kids saw stuff they shouldn't have seen, and it's sad because the place has so much potential. It's beautiful, and there's mountains, and there's beaches, and the food's off the chain, and it's a lot of good cultures out there. But it's just, man, like when the man, the fish rots from the head. That's what I'll say. The fish rots from the head, bro.
Right, I got it. Definitely got that one.
So
George, when he first moved out there, he was like, dude, you have to check this place out. He was like, he was throwing some Laguna something out there. It's like Laguna, whatever. And he was like, it's beautiful, and the mountains and the lakes, or not the lakes, but the ocean, and this, that, and the other. And I was like jealous. I was like, damn, but look at this guy.
No, but he's real. So I
There.
hadn't been to Los Angeles ever, and I was able to go about I think it was like a year ago, dude. Y de verdad que the place is bien bonito, dude. So like we were in LA, entonces if you look that way, you have the ocean. When you're in this, like Sunset Boulevard, you have the fucking mountains on one side. If you take a little cruise for on the other side of the mountains, you have desert. I mean, you got everything there. The weather's great, dude. It is what it is. Maybe we should go to Los Angeles to watch a fight.
Bro, how do you mess that up, bro? It's just crazy to me. Like, people can mess anything up, bro. People can mess anything up, bro. I'm not saying Miami's perfect, right? I didn't even move back to Miami because I just don't want the big city. Andy, you know how this is. You both of you know how this is. You guys took your ass to Gainesville, bro. That couldn't get more country than that, really. But I went north of Miami. I'm in Coral Springs. I'm on the border of Palm Beach County and Broward, because I just
that's different.
I can't do the city stuff anymore, bro. And Los Angeles is like Miami times 2.5, literally, like the population, and there's so much traffic. And the only difference is, bro, I gotta hand it to Miami, bro, because as crazy as Miami gets, bro, it's still pretty clean. Like, relatively speaking, for a big city, I think it's pretty clean, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I felt like everywhere we would go in LA, I would take my son to baseball games and stuff. There was like tents, there was garbage on the floor. Like, it's like people would just like drink a soda or just like throw it to the floor. It's not something I ever saw in South Florida, and I took it for granted until I left. And then when I left, I said, damn, bro, like, I've never seen this much trash on the floor. And I just don't get it, man. I don't know. Maybe it's I never thought of myself as like a sensitive to, that kind of stuff, but I started to really get annoyed with it.
Yeah, no, George, you're right. I remember being a very young cat, and in the 80s, cuando llegaron, the influx of Marielitos and stuff, that had that tendency of just drinking something and throwing the bottle, or eating a banana and just throwing it in the middle. And eso just either, it's not really parte de la cultura. I just think it's just a lack of education, or hey, listen, put it in the fucking garbage, bro. It doesn't belong in the street. Our kids are walking there, our grandparents are walking there.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have a sense of community of any sort.
I mean, I'll give you guys some examples, right? Of why I left, right? I mean, besides the fact that the income tax rate is up to 13.3%, bro. It doesn't even exist in Florida. Up to 30. Imagine they're taking upwards of 10% of your check every time you get it. And the streets are just like, it's like they're never cleaned unless you live in like an elite neighborhood. And for me, like, the elite neighborhoods were just like normal in South Florida. Like, Where I live here in Coral Springs, like I feel like this house would cost like $3 million at least
Yeah,
in
we
Los
have
Angeles.
yeah, bro. We have better neighborhoods in Miami than nicer neighborhoods
Bro,
all day long.
and I remember driving my kids from Catholic school back to the house from Catholic school, bro. Like they were at a Catholic school, and this lady just walking completely naked down the street, everything just hanging out. My kids laughing, and then I would drive them back, and guys would be using the bathroom at the gas station with their pants down, and men pulling their junk out in front of my kids to use the bathroom. And we would go to the bro. They stole. Somebody came into our neighborhood,
Hmm.
a gated community, and stole the keys for the mailboxes. And like,
No,
yeah, bro, like we had to go to, they started making people go to the post office just to get their mail.
tremenda
Like,
mierda.
and each side of the post office had like, there was like tents lined up. And I was like, bro, I said, what is this, bro? I'm living in a townhouse with no driveway and no backyard, almost $1 million. I can't even, my mail's not safe. They committed fraud on my wife's like Target car. Like it was all kinds of stuff going on. There was a street fight one time in the neighborhood. They were selling drugs from the house.
I'm
You
glad
know,
I'm glad you're holding back, George.
yeah, I am. I am. This is me holding back. No, this is me holding back.
Okay.
I won't even say all of it. But there was a house in that neighborhood selling drugs for the last 9 years that I was there, and I never really saw an arrest.
Martin Nogueira says, was there for work for 6 months in LA. Never again. Never again. Yeah. You know what it is though? I'm not gonna lie. George, we lived in Vegas for a little bit, and even though we were in Vegas, we never stepped foot in California. Stupid of us because
Yeah.
we were young, we didn't have kids, but we were just so busy that we didn't even have any time to do anything. But
Yeah.
I always saw through videos, and I always saw through just things, nowadays even in social media, whatever, California stuff, and it looks so like retro. It looks so cool. Like the other day, I saw a video of some dudes driving like these old 1950s Cadillacs and shit, and like
Yeah. Yeah.
you hear like that chill kind of like rockabilly music in the background. It's like it almost feels nostalgic, right? It feels like
Mhm,
Elvis. It feels
mhm.
like driving movie theater, and you see the sunset and the mountains. Americana, which I freaking love,
Yeah,
right?
that's
No,
good.
it's
In my
all of
mind,
that, you know.
I'm like, damn, California is so cool. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
in my mind, I'm like, if I had like $1 billion in the bank, for sure, I'd at least own a property out there,
Bro.
because
Yeah.
like I love just the idea, but it's the people, just like Miami. The people is the problem. It's not that the city is ugly. It's not that the construction is poor. It's not that whatever.
The
It's
place is not
people.
bad. It's the people that live
It's
there. I
the
get it.
people, dude. The place is beautiful, man.
Yeah. So
You
I
know?
was
Yeah,
able.
but the people can make the place ugly. That's my point. You
Oh,
know,
that's what I'm saying. It's the people.
like I said, I don't want to go to the baseball, little league baseball games. See trash all over the floor, but I don't want my kids learning that, bro. That's not for me. You know, I mean, some people are okay with it. Some people their house is a mess, their car is a mess, whatever. That's what they like. I don't like that. It's not for me. You know what I mean? And I mean, you know me, Andy. You know, I don't consider myself like a dainty guy. You know, we're both meatheads. We grew up playing sports in the street in Miami. Abel, me and Andy were in the street from sun up till sundown, in the street at night, in the street playing sports, football, baseball, whatever. Like that shit doesn't matter to us,
Diving for passes in the freaking pavement, dude.
Yeah, bro.
My boy would throw the ball, and I'd dive behind defenders in the street, dude, and I'd come home bloody from knee all the way to ankles.
Fighting, football, like all of it.
Crazy.
But
It's a good time.
you got to have some sort of standard, bro. And I felt like the standards just got so low. I just had to, and maybe if I had $5 or $10 million to spare, I would have stayed out there. But it just stopped making financial sense.
So,
to me.
so let me ask you a question. So, I mean, and you don't have to answer this. So, what do you think that's rooted from? Like the lack of law enforcement, their lack of, parents teaching them, hey, pick up after yourself.
I think it's 100% the people, bro, because it's the people that decide who they put in office. It's the people that decide the laws. Any law we have a problem with in this country or state or city or whatever, it's people that decided on that, bro. And unless you go do something about it, it's going to stay. I'll give you an example. A lot of people tell me oh, the property in California is so expensive because everybody wants to live there. Well, that's not exactly the case. The reason it's expensive is because, like, I think back in the 60s or 70s or something, they passed these sequel laws, I think they're called. I've seen some research and done some research on this where, they kind of like limited where people could build. They restricted it so much, and they also created, like, they inserted a mechanism where people could sue anonymously the builders if there was something interfering with their environment, right? So if you were like living somewhere nice and there was, I don't know, a nice tree in the way and you didn't want it blocked, and this builder came and tried to build a development there, you could sue them anonymously. And so now this developer who's trying to turn a profit, because that's why they do it, now they got to deal with years upon years of litigation from some anonymous person, and it becomes no longer worth it, to build housing. So that's why you have the housing shortage there, among other things. And it's just a law that just needs to be fixed. You know what I mean?
I'll say it and I'll own it, bro. These blue states están hecho mierda. I'm sorry. I mean, I'll just say it. Andy said it. These blue states están hecho mierda, bro. These people don't know what the hell to do with their money, bro.
Now I'm not so afraid.
They just don't know what to do with their money. It's true. Like hagan. It's like what's going on out here in Gainesville with the whole GRU thing. You know why GRU is so damn expensive? So I've heard. I haven't interviewed one. I don't know facts, but I've heard. Poor decision making. I mean, planning projects, right? Spending a crap load of money, setting the projects in such a way where they tax people through their electric bills, up front, and then the project se va a la mierda. So the project doesn't work.
So that we owe 1.7 billion for that bullshit biomass they built down the thing.
That's what it is.
Esa mierda no sirve pa un carajo.
And it never really became anything.
Nothing. It's fucking bullshit.
So now you're in your house and you microwave 3 Pop-Tarts and you have a fucking $900 bill.
$900 fucking
because you decided to, live your life a little bit. You know what I mean? And like,
and it goes on. And then these fucking people, what I've heard, I don't know if it's true, that they buy it from Florida Power and Light. And then they resell it to us.
Yeah, y con toda la mierda que everybody in South Florida talks about FPL. Do you imagine?
Bro, cuando vengan aquí, aguántate las nalguitas.
I have Clay Electric. I mean, this is a little Gainesville thing. I have Clay Electric, so I don't have luckily I have
Clay.
I have the people that are from, like, I guess the red counties or whatever, paying, kind of feeding me my electricity. Pero, bro, esta gente no saben qué cojones hacer con el dinero, bro. It's true. They just don't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they must be doing something with it in California. I don't want to speak on anything political, to be honest.
Like I said, I own that. Andy said it. I don't give a fuck.
But they do have I think they're estimating a $68 billion deficit there, man.
And it's like, everybody's moving out of the state, George.
And I think last time, like, Florida had a surplus. I mean, it's just, that's another part of the reason I just felt like the place is like tanking a little bit, and I got worried for my kids, and I was just like, let's just go somewhere where economically it's more viable for us,
Yeah, I think even Hollywood is thinking about pulling out because of what I've been hearing, that the next big Hollywood is Atlanta. Everybody's moving to Atlanta.
That's what I heard about too. Yeah.
Yeah, those guys are out of there too, man. Taxes are ridiculous. They can't film certain things. You got to get certain permissions to film this, to film that, at nighttime this.
But listen, I don't want to try, like you said, Abel, and Andy too. You said it too, man. The place has got so much potential, so beautiful. I love the food, bro. I love the oldie cars that you're talking about, Andy. The car culture, the street culture. Like, I love all of that, man. I think it's really cool. The views and everything.
In-N-Out burgers.
Oh, yeah. In-N-Out burger, bro. Yeah. Give me that shit wild. That shit was up, bro.
But it's just you weigh the pros and the cons and you make a decision.
I always envy those people that own those, like, wineries in, like, North California.
Oh my God.
And just like like Blase, they just have like a winery, like, dude, like, you have no idea what I would give to own something like that in my life.
Have you been to one of those?
And it's like I said, I've never stepped foot in California, dude.
Whenever
I do go, I think I'm going to go more to North California than I am going to go to Southern California. I mean, I'm going to be honest, because of the wine country and all that stuff. That's like my thing, bro.
You know what I went to that I think you would love to, because I feel like, because your background and everything. I went to, so I did the wine train. Well, I mean, he's more Mediterranean than he lets you know, Abel.
Oh, I heard the story.
I'm gonna leave it at that. But
no, I heard the story.
But so I did the wine train. You know, they take you to the different wineries. It was real cool. I went with Bella, and they took me to one. I think it was Francis Ford Coppola's winery, and I believe he brought a bunch of like olive trees from Sicily, and they pressed their own olive oil there.
Yeah, that's tight.
Wow.
And I was like, bro, like an olive oil tasting little thing, or a place with like fresh olive oil. And you would look up the field and the mountain or the hill or whatever it was, and it's just like,
Like a
you know,
long way
this,
from San Francisco.
oh, beautiful, beautiful wine, like olive trees, and you know,
Yeah. No, dude,
it was
you're
beautiful.
right. I would love that. Lately, I don't know if it's because I'm like 40 or something, and I'm getting old. Like I love olive oil with everything. Like I'll put olive oil on anything. Like Abel, you're on camera, bro.
Yeah, no, Abel, bro, plug in, Abel.
Listen,
Oh my God, bro.
listen, bro. Listen, but yeah. Okay, fine. Even I probably would even go there. But dude, just everything. I don't know what it is, man. It's like I crave it with everything. Every single time I eat any slice of pizza, dude, like it must be drenched in olive oil.
It's
You know
good
what I mean? Like,
stuff, man. It's good
yeah,
stuff.
it's just like anytime I eat any like Mediterranean, Lebanese, or like Greek food or whatever, it has to be drenched in friggin' all like it just must.
Yeah.
Like my body is like it has to have this. You know what I mean? So yeah, for real, dude. I don't even know how else to describe it. So I'm with you.
This
100%.
conversation's getting very sensual. I feel like we
Yeah.
need to back
I
away
mean,
from it.
listen, I wanted to talk Super Bowl, and you went all California and people taking a dump on the streets, and now
And then olive oil.
we're talking lubing ourselves up with olive oil. I mean, that's just kind of how the Cuban Dudes Show is.
Oh my
You know what I mean?
God.
But yeah, dude, yeah. So I take it that you like that San Francisco lost. Go back to the question.
You know, I just, for me, it's sad for the people that live there, man. I'm gonna leave it at that, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw. There's like a food critic. His name is Keith Lee or something like that. He's an MMA fighter. I think he's gotten real popular on social media to the point
Yeah.
where if he leaves you a good review, like your restaurant succeeds. Like that's the kind
Wow.
of reach this guy has. And apparently, like he ended his food review in the Bay Area. Like he just said, I can't do this for the safety of my children.
Sweet
And just
Jesus.
left.
Wow, dude. That's
And
big.
he's from Detroit. And
Right,
he's
so that says a lot.
Wow.
That's true, bro. With being
Let me tell you
He
something.
just-
When we lived in Vegas, yes, we were never stepped foot in California, but when we lived in Vegas, I will never forget. My wife at the time was going to go work with a child who had autism in the Nellis Air Force Base in North Vegas. And I was taking her the first day so she knew how to get there, you know, whatever. Because Diana, con las direcciones, you know, she would get like all flustered and nervous and whatever. So I went with her to kind of show her how to get there. This is what I mean. This is 2008. GPSs were not even like really that hardcore like they are today. It's like we had to figure out how to get there. Dude, and MapQuest. Remember that shit?
I remember that.
So we had to
Oh my
drive
God.
through North Vegas, dude, in the tent city in North Vegas.
Oh
Honestly,
my
George,
God.
talking about coming from Miami, dude, I had never seen that shit in my life. Eso a mí me dejó, not even Overtown, dude. Like,
Yeah.
eso a mí me dejó frío that I was driving through that and I was telling Dan, I was like, what the fuck?
And you know, it's interesting that you bring up Overtown because don't forget, bro. Like, remember, my dad had the stores first. The first one
I
in
remember that.
Hialeah.
I remember your dad's
The
store.
first one in Hialeah when I was 8 years old working the lottery machine. It was Tiny's next to that Rallies, bro. That was always getting shot up. And
Mhm.
then Overtown, he had the other store downtown, basically. And so I grew up around all that bullshit and waking homeless people up, and they're peeing on the locks, and they're high on drugs, and they're talking to inanimate objects. And so I think for me, that lifestyle just really doesn't work because I'm fucking traumatized from when I was a kid. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want to see it, bro. So I'm just being straight up. I don't want to see it.
I'm with you, and I could
But Vegas
That's-
is beautiful too, man. I love Vegas.
listen. We lived in an area called Summerlin that
Ooh.
I begged my wife. I said, babe, let's save money and let's
I would
move
live
out
there.
there. I didn't want to come back to Miami, man.
I would live
we
in
got knocked
Summerlin.
up. We got knocked up with our first child, and my wife, of course, because the mom and her family, she wanted to be alone, and this and then the other. She wanted, and she had a different Vegas experience than I did, by the way. Her basic Vegas experience was not very fun. Mine, dude, I still have friends that are like friends of mine that I've made out there, probably more than friends I've ever made in Miami. People in Vegas were so much more loyal, and I'm not sure if it was because it was like small. I always called Vegas like the waffle in the middle of the desert, because if you look at it on a map, it's like a waffle, the way the roads are and whatever, and this and that. It's like a big grid, but there's nothing out there. So all there is out in Vegas is getting tattoos and getting knocked up, and then on the side, it's having friends and being loyal to your friends and hanging out with your friends, and like I loved it, dude. I did not want to come back. And living in Summerlin near Red Rock, I was like,
well, you know, growing up in Miami, doing what you were doing, you can't expect too much loyalty, big guy.
what was I doing? What was I doing?
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm just trying to make you out to be a bootleg Tony Montana.
Oh, gotcha.
You're
No,
not.
that's more Abel, bro. But Abel's the one with the stories,
Oh,
with the shit, with the stuff.
oh, Abel, bro. That's why you moved up to Gainesville.
I know
Abel,
nothing.
Abel got out of Dodge. You went to Gainesville, bro.
Hey, yo.
Abel's on the director's cut of Cocaine Cowboys. And shit.
Oh my God.
I'm not.
Griselda Blanco.
You were the one. You were the one at Dayland with the Tommy gun.
Yeah, dude. No, dude, I was actually a little kid when that happened, and my house was right around the block when that shit happened.
Damn.
And I think my mom might have taken me out of school that day, because it was like everybody that was in the business was like, "Yo, the street's hot."
Yeah,
pulled everybody out.
To me, drugs was like eating my taking my grandma's honey candies from her fucking purse. That was like drugs and shit to me. I don't know much. You know, the ones that you suck on and there's like a honey on the inside.
Yeah,
So that's the only thing. Yeah. Pero bueno, bro. George, I'm going to repeat here once again for the peoples and for the replay. Hopefully, people listen to this beyond live before Saturday, and they go head out there.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
FightersRep.com. Get your tickets for FightersRep. It's FightersRep 21, right, George?
Yes, sir.
FightersRep 21, February 17th at the Orion Event Center in Pompano Beach. And for those of us who want to, go out there and represent the Cuban culture and the peoples and stuff from South Florida, we got Fernando Valdez headlining, correct?
That's correct.
Headlining the event.
Yeah.
Headlining the event, Cuban fighter, Cuban kickboxer from South Florida. Once again, February 17th, the Orion Center, FightersRep.com. Get your tickets. Anything else, George, before we let you go?
That's all, man. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your time. Really, this was great, and I wish you continued success on this show, man. This thing's badass, bro. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you, George. Thank you.
Love you, brother. Thank you so much for being on and for taking the time, man. I appreciate you.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
All right,
nice
bro.
meeting you, Abel. See
nice
you guys.
meeting you, George.
All right, George. All right, man. Give another round of applause to George from FightersRep.com. George is cool peoples, man.
Yeah, man, he's cool as shit. I like him.
Yeah, dude. I grew up with that guy. He was basically like my best friend growing up, and he's a cool guy, man. That's why like I'm happy that I'm happy that he's had success with that shit, man. I know how much that means to him and stuff. And like I said in the very beginning, I was helping him out with it, and I knew that thing could be a very big uphill battle. And I'm glad that he's that's why I pulled out. I was like I ain't about this shit, bro. I had a few nights where I broke down.
That's usually when you pull out.
Yeah. I had a few nights with panic attacks.
Well, that's normal.
Listen, because I was like working on a website till like 6 a.m. every day, waking up 2 hours later to go to work, and I was overweight as hell, the most unhealthiest I've ever been in my life, and I told George, I said, dude, I can't do this, and George was like, bueno, maricón, whatever, this and that. I was like, bro, I'm sorry. Like, I can't, you know what I mean? But I felt really bad because I knew that he was going to like make this thing like a thing, and like I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to help him with it,
right? But
it was just too much for me.
I'm glad the dude is very successful.
So looking back on it, I'm very glad that George. Whoa, I'm very glad that George is getting his thing done with FightersRep. So that's good. Yeah, but we're getting close to the end of our show, man. Yeah, we're getting pushing on to an hour. Is there anything you wanna announce this week? Anything you want people to know about?
Nothing, man. We're completely unprepared this week, but guys, just go to visit Gainesville.com and see what's happening in Gainesville.
Visit Gainesville.com. I'm wondering if Gainesville really like appreciates this show. You think Gainesville appreciates the fact that we're doing this show?
Why don't we call them? As a matter of fact, look what's there.
Yeah, 352-234-4888. Yeah, I mean, we ain't going to get any calls now because we're getting close to the end of the show. But definitely next time, guys, please, if you're watching the show now, or if you watch the show post live, or if you're listening to it on a podcast, on the Apple Podcast, go ahead and give us a call, 352-234-4888. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to include you guys in the conversation.
Absolutely.
Whether we have a guest or not, whether we're whatever, always feel free to give us a call. We'll always answer the call.
And by now, you guys will know what kind of show this is. We are not very formal. We say jokes. We say jokes, you know, a little dirty, a little spicy.
We're not Tushmagma radio or anything like that.
Exactly.
We're not any of that shit.
We're no tiki tiki papi cogérmelo por tambores kind of thing. Pero we're here, guys. We're here for you.
We're here. Just talking the house of shit. And so, at any moment in time, you guys can give us a call. We love Gainesville and everybody out here. And it's we're just happy to be out here.
Excelente.
Yeah, man. So I also don't have anything else. Oh, wait a minute. We do have a comment.
Ooh, let's hear it.
We just have Yo from Jack Sells Auto. That's Jack Pent. If you need to buy a car or anything car related,
You need a steering wheel.
You need a steering wheel.
We got
Go see
Momo.
Jack Pent. Jack, bro. You gotta give us some kind of sponsor thing, bro. We love you, bro. Every time you're on, we're always like, oh, Jack this and Jack that, bro. We might as well call this the Jack Pent Show.
The Jack Pent Show.
Jack, cool guy, man. Talking about cool people on Gainesville. Bueno, I'm about done. I'm gonna have some water because I'm a little buzzed from my
Grape juice.
Jack's like boom, from my grape juice, and we will
See you next Thursday.
we will see you guys next Thursday. Arrivederci, Gainesville.
Keep away from that olive oil, Andy.
Away from that olive oil. You're the one who did the
I don't know what you're talking about.
plead the fifth. Bye.
I know nothing. Bye.
This has been El Cuban Dudes Show with Andy and Abel. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Cuban Dudes, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram @Cuban Dudes. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.